the mother of a shooter, one of these school shooters whose name we don't say on our show, convicted 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter because the jury found she played too much of an active role in ignoring his mental health problems, in buying him a gun 4 days before he went on the rampage. And that morning was called to the school, shown all sorts of disturbing drawings, and did not pull her kid from the school. So Dave, what do you make of this? It's the novel. I don't think this has ever happened before. This is sort of a new chapter in accountability for these mass shootings. Do you think they reached the right conclusion?
Absolutely, Megyn. Kudos to the prosecutor, my counterpart up there in Oxford, Michigan. This was an unprecedented case by a gutsy prosecutor who reflected the mood of the country that we've had enough of these school shooters, and someone needs to be held accountable. It's not enough, and it's unsatisfying just to throw the then 15-year-old in jail for life when the parents here acted so egregiously. I mean, I've talked about this on my YouTube channel, Megyn, because this thing was so beyond the pale that it's not just that they ignored these clear signs of mental illness, but instead of getting him a therapist, they bought him a gun, and then they didn't secure the gun. And then when the kid was found looking for ammunition in school on his cell phone, the mother ignored the calls from the school and then LOL'd her son, texted him, LOL, I'm not mad at you, just don't get caught. And then the worst thing is when the kid drew a very disturbing drawing of shooting up a school, with a gun and saying the thoughts won't stop, help me, blood everywhere. The teacher found the drawing, called the principal, and the parents were brought in. The parents never mentioned to the school that they had bought him a gun. They never checked his backpack, and they refused to take him home. So guilty of all counts, and that's justice.
I mean, it's not your average case, Mike. It doesn't mean all parents who have a school shooter for a child are now going to be held accountable. This case does seem egregious. I mean, as the facts developed, it got worse.
Yeah, it was the recklessness on this mother's part that makes her criminally culpable in this case. And I would say this, look, I was raised in Iowa. My siblings and I had guns when we were kids, but we knew how to use guns. We used it for hunting, right? So I don't think that the fact that he had a gun should be dispositive. It's the fact that he was so clearly mentally ill. This mother knew he was clearly mentally ill. She knew he was dangerous. He was drawing pictures and making comments that were clearly dangerous. He was a clear danger to others. And when the school contacted her to get this kid help, she blew them off. So I agree with Dave there, but I would like to see this. You have to wonder how these people who are cheering on this criminal case here, how would they respond if we use this same criminal theory for parents in D.C. whose minor children are carjacking and robbing and causing mayhem in Washington, D.C.? I'm all for arresting their parents, but I for some reason, I don't think that too many people in D.C. would agree with that theory here.
That's fascinating point. I've been raising this because I actually wrote my law review article on the dangerous instrumentality exception to the negligent supervision doctrine. It was crazy. I wrote my law review article on it because I thought it was really interesting. And then it wound up one of the 3 essay questions on the bar exam. I was like, yes! No, everybody was like, what was that doing on the bar exam? I was like, I have an angel looking out for me. Anywho, yeah, you're right. If we're opening up that floodgate, who knows where it could go. The pressure to conform to political correctness has undeniably suppressed genuine debate, and it's time we put a stop to it. Enter Freedom 2.0, the unapologetic bottled water company that proudly supports the freedom to speak, freedom to think, and the freedom to listen. We can't afford to remain silent anymore. It's crucial to make our support for the First Amendment crystal clear. And one impactful way to do so is by choosing products from companies that champion our values. Visit freedom20.com and use the code MK for a 15% discount to stand with me and millions of other Americans in celebrating the right to free speech. Remember, freedom is not inherited. It's something we must actively fight for. So raise your voice, grab your bottle of Freedom 2.0, and make a statement. Cheers to Freedom 2.0. That's Freedom 2, the letter O, not Freedom 20, and champion the power of free speech. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.